as we're going into education mode. Now, if you haven't met me before, I'm going to go ahead and tell you who I am. I'm not a gatekeeper. All right. You guys have heard that term here on TikTok. I don't gatekeep. That means any information that I have, I give it to you guys for free. Why? Why would a person come in the market who's been in the market for years give you guys free information? Because the more people know about this and the more wealthy the people are around you, the better off you're going to be. If you're making your funds through trading and investing educators that are out there, you can give out information for free. All right. I keep telling people this over and over and over and over and over again. The leaders, the best people that are in this industry, they are not charging you guys an arm and a leg for education. In fact, a lot of the education that we have these days are free. If you were to go to Charles Schwab, and that's who I use with my Thinkorswim platform, you guys can learn the options market. You can learn the futures market. You can learn the Forex market. You can learn every single market that you've been dreaming about learning about for free. And it's going to be 100 times better than any of these people out here that are, I don't want to say stealing, but that are taking your funds. So when you come in here, guys, I don't gatekeep. I educate, and I'm going to teach you everything that's in my brain. And that's why people love coming to this platform. I've only been on this platform for about 70 days. 70 days, guys. I've only been here for 70 days. All right. But what I like to do is anything that I educate you guys on, I want you to take that information and back test it. That's the reason why I'm giving it to you. In fact, I usually back test anything that I teach during the session at the end of the session. I teach it to you, and then I do what I call a magic show. A magic show is you guys give me your stock on any time frame, and anything that we learn today, we're going to put it to the test. No other teacher or educator is ever going to do that. They're too scared. They're too afraid. Their strategies aren't that sound. They're not going to show receipts. They're not going to do that because it will make them look inferior. I don't care. I'm like, prove me wrong. Show me something better. So when you come here, guys, you learn. You learn. If you want to learn for free, great. You don't ever have to support in any way. I'm going to educate because there are other people here that are going to support the room. And I'm fine with that, right? But just make sure if you are here, I'm always going to have a live goal. And this is just so that I can monetize this TikTok platform. TikTok always gives me a goal. I try to meet that goal for the session. I want you guys to make sure that you take care of my supporters in this box, the top 10. They're helping support the room. They're here getting educated every night. They know the value of the information that they're getting on a daily basis. They know it's cats out here charging y'all $20,000 for stuff that I'm giving you guys for free. So if y'all want to continue to hear this stuff for free, y'all better make it worth my while. Otherwise, I'll go out on the golf course. All right. So we're going to learn about the volatility index today. It's the best index, in my opinion, ever created. But before I even start, my name is Joel Harrison. I'm an expert in stocks, options, futures, and a little bit of cryptocurrency. Thank you guys for the caps. And anything that we talk about today are the opinions of Joel Harrison. I want you to back test everything. I want you to assume that everything that I'm saying is incorrect. I want you to back test it. This is a do-it-yourself room, a DIY room. The room is labeled DIY so that you can do it on your own. Thank you for the cap. It's a DIY room so that you can do it on your own. Not me. This is not a job interview. I am not here because I want your funds. I don't. I want to build the best educational platform on TikTok, and you guys can help me in that way by just showing up and tapping a little bit, maybe throw me 100 go populars, engage with each other, answer some questions, learn, buy some stocks, talk about the things that you have been doing. That's the type of support I want. If you decide you want to go down a deeper hole and you like, Joel, I really need to learn these stocks, options, futures, or crypto, and you're going a little bit too slow in these sessions, great. You can always go to my profile. And when you go to my profile, you go in there and you hang out and you click on a couple of things and you're going to find exactly what you need. Okay? You're going to find exactly what you need. Guys, thank you for the support. Let me go ahead and give myself a new goal before we start. So I appreciate that. Why isn't it going through? All right. So if you're here to learn. You're here to learn and you're here to earn. And I'm gonna help you the best that I can. And guys, there's some wonderful investors and traders in the comment section. Now, in the comment section, guys, you guys can do what you do. I've created a whole bunch of stickers so that you guys can educate yourself. If you find yourself a little lost, that's fine. That's supposed to happen. You got to get educated on a couple of things. But I'm going to try my best to try to catch you guys up. I've been doing this challenge since November the 1st. A lot of you guys are coming in on day 75. All right, Joel, where you been for 75 days? I've been going live every day educating. All the other trading rooms like this, they've been going live trying to get you to be part of some course or buy some course or be part of some room. Although I do have a super fan room also. Now, the super fan room, I am doing a super fan live on Sunday. So if you don't know what a super fan is, everybody and their mama on this platform has a super fan club. Any legitimate live host has super fans. With our super fans, the super fans is just a smaller group of individuals where you have closer and better access to us in case you want to ask questions or whatever product that we offer to you guys. You're able to you're able to communicate with each other. There's a group attached to it. If you go to my profile and you go to groups, you're going to be able to be in a super fan group where everybody's communicating. I'm talking about what I'm buying and selling. I post everything in there as well. There is a super fan live on Sunday. I am going out of town. Because I'm going out of town, guys, I'm not going to do a 6 o'clock session, but I am going to do a super fan live where we're going to do a panel discussion. I'm not going to have my live studio equipment. So it's the perfect time to do that on Sunday. All right, so it's going to be Sunday at 5 o'clock. If you forget, you can always go to my profile, and I always post what I'm doing. I post earlier in the day on what the topic is going to be at night. And then I also post what's happening in the future. So make sure if you're a super fan that you show up on Sunday at 5 o'clock. So let's talk about the volatility index. The volatility index, guys, is the fear index. So I want you guys to think of the fear index like a Richter scale. Most of us know about Richter scales. Why? We know about Richter scales because as we were growing up, and we hear that there was an earthquake, we can always judge how bad that earthquake was by listening to the Richter scale. If somebody said, oh, we just had an earthquake in California, but it was a 4.6 on the Richter scale, I'm going to say, oh, it was an earthquake, but it wasn't like really that bad. It's probably no casualties. But I'm still going to call my friends in California and say, hey, Are you guys okay? I heard that there was a 4.3 Richter scale. Most of them will say, yeah, it happened while I was asleep. I didn't even really feel it. It shook a couple of things in the home, but we're okay. But if I hear that there's a 7.5 or 8.0 earthquake, I'm going to get an eerie feeling. I'm going to say, oh my God, a lot of people are probably unalive because of this earthquake. See, we know by the different levels at how heavy that earthquake hit that particular area, and we know that the destruction was huge. The volatility index, guys, is the Richter scale. Now, these are my words. It's the Richter scale of the stock market. See, if you turned on your TV today and they said, hey, Trump just put out a tweet and said something about, I don't know, the banks, and the market sold off. You would say, all right, how bad did the bank sell off? And I would pull up the VIX. I would look at the VIX and I would say, man, the market don't care about what just happened. The volatility index barely even moved. The Richter scale barely even moved. It didn't really move trillions of dollars. Okay? But when he put out those tariffs, everybody around the world got scared. As soon as he decided, I'm gonna implement tariffs in April, all of a sudden you started seeing people sell off their stocks. How did we know that it was bad? Because the Richter scale started going to 30, to 40, and then it finally hit 50. The Richter scale, guys, is like the nuclear button for selling that a lot of you guys didn't even know existed. I've known it for over a decade, and I've been teaching this, and only a few people were able to capitalize off of it because they trusted not only what I was saying, but they actually back tested it and said, Joel, how come nobody knows about this Richter scale? And I'm like, I don't know. They talk about it every single solitary day on CNBC. So why doesn't the world know about this? I don't know. But there is a real statistic that 10% of the world owns 90% of it. Maybe you're not supposed to know. Maybe you're not. I've seen a whole bunch of live trading rooms that went live with mine, hours ago. I peeped in a couple of them. Nobody was really talking about anything of any value. And of course, I felt some type of way. I saw 300 members in this room, and all I saw was a chart. Then I looked in this other room, and they were talking about something that didn't even really matter. They were talking about crypto, right? And I was like, why is nobody teaching about stuff that actually can make y'all some money? That's why I'm trying to change it here on TikTok. There aren't too many educators like myself that actually are buying the market and actually know those secret things that everybody else doesn't know about. And I'm not going to charge you for it. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to do the magic show at the end with your stocks after I finish educating. But for now, I want you guys to take a pencil and I want you guys to start writing some of these numbers that I'm going to give you. Okay? Because it's very, very important. I'm telling you guys, this is the most important day out of any session, out of any lives that you've gone on that involve the stock market. This is the one that you need to be in today. So let's go back to the fear index. The volatility index is fear. There's an actual indicator that the way that it works, if you go to ChatGPT, all you have to do is ask it, say, hey, how is the volatility index calculated? And what it's going to tell you is that it's calculated by future options plays that are made on the S&P 500. Now, if you've been coming in here every day, you guys know that the S&P 500 is what we use as a gauge for everything. It's the baseline thing that you look at every day as a trader or as an investor. Every trader, every investor, every mutual fund person, any live personality that's teaching, we all know the very first thing we look at on an everyday basis is the S&P 500. It's not Bitcoin. It's not Tesla. It's not Nvidia. It's the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is the reason why we know the beta of companies. It's the baseline for it. Beta is based off of what the S&P 500 does. The S&P 500 are the 500 largest companies on the planet that are in this particular index. All right. So the volatility index, the fear, is based off of future option plays that the people that really move the market, it's what they're doing. And a lot of the time, guys, they have information before we do. Thank you. Who said that? I've never seen that before. All right. So how do you use it to make money? All right. As you can see, I created a visual picture to kind of give you an idea of what you're looking for. We want to make sure that we always know when the nuclear button is pressed. The nuclear button in the stock market is going to be one value, 50. Okay? So, for those that have a brokerage account and you already been buying stocks, or anybody that has Yahoo Finance, well, actually, I'm going to be honest with you. Yahoo Finance, the numbers aren't as accurate as it would be on a real brokerage. But if you can pull it up, all you got to do, guys, is type VIX. If you have a GPT, a Chat GPT, or Gemini, or Perplexity, you pretty much can go in there and say, hey, give me the dates of the last 10 times the volatility index hit 50. And you're going to be surprised. It only happens like every 18 months to 2 years. So here we go, guys. I'm about to show you everything. All right. Now, the volatility index, guys, works this way. When you type VIX into your search tab, you're going to get a chart. It's going to look just like a stock chart. Now, some people trade the volatility index. I don't. The way that it works, guys, is volatility index represents fear. So as fear goes up, as you get scared, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. There's a pandemic. When people get afraid, the volatility starts to rise. When it rises, stocks go down. When fear goes down, that means I'm not afraid of these tariffs. The market goes up. I'm going to say that one more time. I'm going to say thank you, Pops, for sending that greeting heart. When fear goes up, oh my God, it's a pandemic. Oh my God, it's a tariff. Oh my God, it's Brexit. Okay. The market goes down. When people are no longer afraid, hey, we got a vaccine. Oh man, Trump can't tariff the whole world. In fact, he's bringing these tariffs down. He went from 20% to 5%. Man, he's BSing. People aren't afraid anymore. And then the fear index goes down. When the fear index goes down, stocks go up. When fear goes up, stocks go down. Now I'm going to show you guys something that no one else is ever going to be able to show you. Maybe they will in the next 3 or 4 years, but they're not going to be able to show you this. I'm going to show you guys 3 times where I bought the market simply because on that day, the volatility index hit 50. And I'm going to show you how I caught the bottom of the market the last 3 times on the day that the market turned. You're going to say, it's no way you did that, Joel. I've actually caught the last 7. I just can't find the receipts for the other 4. But once I started to go live, I was like, man, people actually want to, I can say I did something, but I kept arguing with people in the comment section. And they were like, Joel, you can say you did anything, but unless you have a receipt for it, I don't believe you. So the very first 4 times I did it, I didn't really capture the receipt for it because I didn't have 102 people listening to me. I was really just arguing with like 10 or other 15 traders when I was just strictly trading and I wasn't educating people. As I started doing consultations and educating, I was like, man, I got to start showing people the things that I actually did, because that's the only way they're going to believe that you actually did it. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys the last 3 times I caught a 50 on the day that it hit 50. Now, why is that important to you? Don't y'all want to know how to buy stocks at the lowest price ever? Where you're looking at the only index that's going to allow you to be able to do that. Guys, I've been in this game for a very long time and I haven't found anything that caught the actual day that the markets turn around. And I've gone through A through Z. I back tested everything. I spent hours, tens of thousands of hours researching. And I finally found it 10 years ago. I didn't find it. They just started talking about it on TV and I didn't know what they were talking about. They kept talking about volatility and volatility this and volatility that and volatility index, and I didn't understand it because there wasn't someone like me that can teach it to people. And then I finally pulled it up one day because I was like, are they buying it? Like, why are they talking about like there was no class, there was nobody there to tell me about it, right? And then I finally pulled it up and I started looking at the numbers. And it's funny because I created the numbers, right? I think years later, people on TV started saying, oh yeah, everybody knows the 50 area is when the market bottoms out. And I was like, well, dang, I was doing it the hard way. I literally went back 20 something years and I was looking at the 30 levels and the 40 levels and the 50 levels. And I came up with my own numbers and then my numbers matched it. So there's a lot of things that I've done where I used my own numbers, and then years later I found out that it matches the patterns of the market, like my 10 candle trends. I did it the hard way. So I'm gonna start showing you guys something, and it's gonna blow whoever is here, it's gonna blow your mind, because you're gonna say, how the heck did I not know about this? I just randomly went into this guy's room who was just giving out gems. And when you go back test it, you're going to say, oh my God, where the heck has this been? It's been in our face the whole time. Just it's hiding in plain sight. So watch how it works, guys. You see how everything goes up in price? I'm going to show it to you on several different charts. So when you type in the VIX, you're going to see a number. Right now, guys, the volatility is sitting at 16. I want you guys to only remember 3 numbers. I only want you to remember 3 numbers because only 3 numbers matter. The only numbers that matter are 20. Write this down because I'm telling you guys, this is the most important class you're ever going to take. 20. 30 and 50. That's it. All you need to know is 20, 30, and 50. 20, 30, and 50. Right now we're sitting at 15. That means the market is not scared right now. It don't care. Usually when it's under 20, that means there's less fear. The market is sitting at probably all-time highs. I don't really start buying stocks, guys, until the volatility index is sitting around 30. That's when I start picking at the market. When it gets to 50, I go all in, and I'm going to show you guys why I go all in at 50. Because 50 is the nuclear button. It's the everybody has sold. That's it. This is it, guys. This is the cataclysmic moment that we've been looking for. The crescendo moment when the market finally does it throws in the kitchen sink, and then the market starts to repair itself after that. We only see 50 every 18 months. We're at 15 right now. I want you guys to write down 3 dates. Listen, I want you guys, not 30 RSI. RSI is cool, but it's not the same. Relative strength index is just the strength of the market. You can use it. It's not the same as the volatility index. Now, I want you guys to write down 4 dates. These are the 4 dates of the last time the market hit 50. April of 2025. I want you guys to write this down. April 2025. April 2025. The time that it hit before that was August of 2024. That's August of 2024. The last time it hit 50 before that, guys, it went 4 years before it hit 50 again. It was March of 2020. And the time that it hit 50 before that was February of 2018. So I just started doing consultations in 2017. So even though I was buying a whole bunch of stocks in February of 2018, I didn't have any receipts to really show anybody in 2018. So because I started doing consultations from 2017 through 2018, the very first time I was able to show my receipts was March 2020. So I'm going to show you guys what I bought on March 2020. I'm going to show you guys what I bought in August of 2024. And I'm going to show you what I bought April of 2025, which was last year. Okay? And I'm not going to just show you the chart. You guys are going to be surprised. You're going to see the date. And what we're going to do at the end of the session is you guys are going to give me a stock. And we're going to go to these dates. And I promise you, 90% of the time, it was probably the low of that stock that you love. Because no one is immune to the 50 VIX. When selling starts to happen, guys, it don't matter how much money a company is making. People just sell everything in their portfolio. Yes, futures traders, not only can futures day traders use this, it's part of what they do. Yes, TradingView does have the volatility index. Everybody has the VIX. Everyone. It's no platform you can't go to and type in the VIX and not see the charts. All right. So I'm going to show you guys again. Before we start, I got to get your mind right. I got to get you guys to understand the levels. So 20, guys, anything less than 20, I want you guys to think of the volatility index like an ocean. I want you to think of it like waves in the ocean. Anytime the volatility index is under 20, no one is afraid of the market. It's very, very calm, just like it's happening right now. So for everybody out there that's talking about we're in an AI bubble, You obviously ain't looking at the volatility index because ain't nobody scared right now, which is why most companies are sitting at their all-time highs. Now, anything can happen. Trump can come out and tweet something. Something can happen catastrophic in the world, which will cause the volatility to start spiking, which makes people start selling. That's not happening right now. Right now, don't nobody care. It's so calm in the waters. Okay? So what a lot of you guys are seeing now is when you're seeing stocks sell off, they're probably just taking profits and then reinvesting it into another stock. So we call that it's just consolidation. It's just one person saying, hey, sell me this and then I'll buy this from you. So some companies might be down 20%. Maybe they're putting their funds into silver. Silver's up, this is down. It's just money rotating. But ain't nobody scared. Ain't nobody scared of the market except you. So anytime the volatility index is under 20, the market is usually somewhere near its all-time highs. Yeah, rebalancing. Thank you, Glambitious girlfriend. That is the perfect word for that. They're rebalancing. I struggle with English is not my first. I want to say it's not my first language. Math. I understand math and graphs, but I struggle with the English language. So you guys got to help me. Perfect volatility for day traders, swing traders and day traders. We love when the volatility is between 15 and 30 because we can get some really, really good trades out there, right? The market's not like selling off everything, but there's so much volatility out there. If you're in the options market, you can make some really, really good gains. Surfers really love it when the volatility is like this. See, right now it's just boring. So anybody that's trying to really, really make money now, it's kind of hard because the volatility is so low. But now, if it gets between 15 and 30, the waves are kind of cool. But again, this is for your traders. Anybody that's here, I want you to stay focused on 50. Anyone that's here, any numbers that we put out there, I don't want you to remember nothing but 50. Because 50 is where you get rich. It only happens every 18 months on average. It doesn't mean that every 18 months it hits and then another 18 months it hits. It's just on average. If you go back 20 years and you count how many times it hit 50, on average it was 18 months. So you have to be patient for when it happens. But when it happens, a lot of the times we're not positioned to make money in it because we either get scared or something's happening in the market that distracts us from investing, just like COVID. Nobody was thinking about buying stocks during COVID. We were thinking about staying alive. I just so happen to do it because I've been catching every 50. And sure enough, COVID came, market hit. Not only did it hit 50, it hit like 80, guys. It hit 80. The fear was like, it was like if 7.5 was like a 50, guys, 80 was like a sell-off you've never seen in your life. So watch this. 50 is so volatile, even you traders shouldn't be trading the market. You look up and the market's moving 1,000 points. Even the best traders out there like myself, I'm like, man, I ain't trading this market. The best surfers are like, I didn't win a bunch of championships, but it's a tsunami right now. I can't surf in that ocean. And I see a lot of you guys trying to trade the market when it's at 50. When it's at 50, it's purely an investing period. And I want you to think about why. When it hits 50, and I'm going to make this a little smaller so you guys can see it. When it hits 50, It's an investing period because it takes time for the market. Anytime an earthquake comes, guys, it destroys, or a tsunami or a tornado, it destroys everything in sight. And then it takes a while for the community to come together and build up the area again. Nobody's thinking about, the tourist part of, if it's a touristy area, nobody's thinking that the tourists are going to come next week. They got to make sure, like, I remember when we got married in Jamaica, we were jumping off of these cliffs called Rick's Cliffs or something like that. I think it was called Rick's Cliffs or Rick's Cafe, where these Jamaican divers were diving off these cliffs. Well, a hurricane came in and destroyed Rick's Cafe. For all of you Jamaicans that are out there, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Rick's Cafe was gone for like a couple of years. It took years for them to build that back up so it can become a tourist area again. It's not a time to trade, guys. It's really a time to invest. And if you're able to pour money into some longer dated options, like 1 year out, I would say even 6 months to 12 months out or longer, you have the possibility of making a fortune. 50 is that number that I look for. Guys, we hit 50 on April 2025 when the tariffs came out, and we hit 50 again. We hit 50 prior to that in August. So in August the year before, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, we got a 50, guys, and then 8 months later another 50 came. They're not supposed to be that close together. So we got a 50 in August. I don't even remember what was happening that August. And then we got another one the following year in April. I'm going to show you guys what I bought. So again, the volatility index, what you guys see, what you guys are looking at right now. You see that red bar? That red bar that you see represents 50. What do you notice about the chart? We don't spend too much time at 50. If you notice at the bottom of the chart, you see a bunch of zigzag. That's where the market usually is sitting at. Right around between 14 and 20. And then every now and then the market starts to sell off. See, guys, what you don't realize is that sell-offs are kind of rare in the market. A lot of you guys are so afraid of the market selling off. You don't realize it's rare. It really only happens like every 18 months. So 18 months goes by, you guys are afraid of the market. It finally sells off, and then you don't buy the market when it sells off. So you're afraid to buy something, then you finally see the market sell off, and then you don't buy it then either. And then the market goes back to all-time highs, and it just rinses and repeats every 18 months. And you just watch it go up. Then you watch it come down, then you watch it go up, then you watch it come down, then you watch it go up, and then you watch it come down. Not realizing that the market is rigged to go up. The market is rigged to be at all-time highs most of the time. Y'all see this chart? We spend most of our time with a volatility index under 20. That means the market most of the time, guys, is not afraid. We'll get afraid for a minute, sell off, and then we'll be like, oh, we can recover, or we'll just print money, and then the market goes right back to all-time highs. And it's been doing that over and over again for the last 100 years. Yet, most of you guys are still afraid to get in the market. Now watch this. I'm going to blow this up. I'm going to show you guys the last times we hit 50. I'm going to blow it up as big as I possibly can to see if you guys can see it. Remember how I told you guys to write down 2025? Y'all see that one little spike right there? That one little spike, guys, we're looking at a month chart. So that was about 30 days where we hit 50. So you only had a 30-day period to buy the lowest point of the market in 2025. And if you did that, you made a fortune. If you notice, right next to it is 2024. That's also a 30-day candle. And it spiked, it hit 50, and it went right back down to all-time highs. Y'all see how fast it's getting down there? Fear is going to 50, guys, and within 30 days, nobody's afraid of the market no more. 30 days. These are month candles. That's how fast people are afraid, and then they're like, "Oh man, that was a nothing burger." Oh man. Oh man. You guys stay scared for years. The market only stays afraid for like 30 days. And then the market's like, "All right, time to go back to all-time highs." We figured it out. Let's go back to all-time highs. That was 2025. That was 2024. The last time we hit 50, guys. Now we got a couple of months, right? That was about 90 days of 2020. Why was it 90 days? Because we hadn't experienced a pandemic in 500 years. 500. Not 100, 500 years. So of course it's gonna, but guys, think about this. It only took 90 days before the market was like, "Oh," and then it was like, "All right, back to all-time highs." 90 days later, the market was back at all-time highs. I want you to think about this psychologically. 90 days after the pandemic happened, we were all sitting at home. Why are all the stocks in the world almost at all-time highs 90 days later? Because it's not supposed to make sense. You guys are trying to use common sense to get in and out the market where there is no common sense. It's get in, get out. Get in when you can. It's rigged to go up. The market only spends like 60 or 90 days scared. It makes all of you guys sell your stocks, and people like me, I come in and swoop all of it. It's just a way to get you out of your stock. And the perfect opportunity to do it is during situations like this. And then the rich come in, buy up everything. It goes back to all-time highs really, really fast. And you get left behind thinking, "It's going to happen again." And they just keep telling you, "Yeah, another pandemic's going to come. Where is it? What happened?" It's been, 6 years later. You still scared to buy the market. 2018, we hit. That's the year that we impeached Trump. The market got scared for some reason. I don't know why. But it went back to all-time highs. 2015, we hit 50. That was, I think, Brexit. I think that was when Europe was going through their financial crisis. And then before that, guys, we hit it in 2000 and, it was the real estate market crisis, 2008 and 9, 2010 and 2011. And that makes sense why we would hit 50 back then. We had never experienced a real estate financial crisis like that since the Great Depression. But if you notice, we spend most of our time right between 20 and 30 when the market ain't scared. When the market ain't scared. Oh, shoot. I think we spend most of our time, guys, at the bottom. Y'all see it? This is the chart as big as... I'm going to try to make it where you guys can see it. Y'all see that chart? This is how it looks. Those little spikes happen every 18 months. If you were able to buy there, remember, when it spikes, that's fear. Fear spikes, you hit 50. 50 is the magic number. 30 is when I start buying stock. Right around 28, 30, I start buying the stocks that I've been wanting to buy. Like right now, I'm like, I ain't buying nothing yet. Ain't enough selling that's happening yet. When it gets around 30, everything is on sale. I get to pick and choose what I want. It gets to 50, everything is on sale. It's the nuclear button. All right. I hope you guys are writing this down. So the way that I look at it, there are 3 areas to buy. This is how, using the what would Joel do method, this is what he's doing. When it gets around 20, I'll do some short dated call options on some of my favorite companies. Nothing is 100%, but this is dang near close. 30 is when I start buying my favorite stock. 50 is when I start asking my grandma and my mama and your grandmama and your ma. I start asking everybody for. I'm trying to put everything I got into the market. Why? Because I looked at the history of the 50. I went 100 years back, guys, and I don't want to say this, but I never saw a loss in 100 years. I went back as far as the charts could take me. I tried to go on other charts that can go back even further than that. I couldn't find anything. When that volatility hits 50, guys, it's the nuclear button. It happens. It's not something that happens every 15 years. It happens on average every 18 months. Okay, but we do see 30s and 20s. We see 30s and 20s every year. So normally when there's not a 50, 30 becomes that number. 28, 30 is like the lows of the year, if there's nothing catastrophic going on. See, 50 is catastrophic. Pandemic, tariffs. You see what I'm saying? 30 is just your garden variety sell-off in the market, and the market's gonna recover. 2022, the market also, I think, hit a 50. That was because interest rates were being raised, and people started selling off the market. All right, I'm gonna show you guys some examples. Remember those dates I told you to write down? I told you to write down April 2025, August 2024, March 2020. All right. I want you guys to see something. All right. The very first date was, the last one that we had was April 2025. A bunch of you guys said, Joel, I want to buy Palantir. Joel did buy Palantir. I want you guys to see this date. Remember that date I told you to write down? The very last 50 we got was April of 2025. I want you to see that with your own eyes, because I practice what I preach. Not only did I buy it on that day, that was the lows of the day. April of 2025, I bought Palantir. I'm up about 160%. Options in that particular options in this particular stock during that time, you would have made a fortune. 10,000 is a fortune to some of you guys. I get it. If you had done this in the options market, oh my God, you could have. I don't want to say you could have retired. It depends on how much you would have put in. But I want you guys to see that the very last 50 we had was last year in April during the tariffs. Okay. I was able to catch Palantir at the lows. I want to show you guys something else. You think it only happens in stock? No. The year before that, in August of 2024, August of 2024, I was moving my son into college. Well, he had already been there, but me and the wife were down there moving him into his new dorm. I didn't even plan on trading that day. On that particular day, while I was moving my son in, the volatility index hit 50. Now, I know it hit 50 because I have an alert system that alerts me when the volatility index hits certain levels. I didn't plan on doing anything that day. During that time, there was news that was out. So I started putting a little bit of powder on the side so that I can buy something that I like once that volatility index hit 50. When it hit 50, I told my son and my wife, I will be right back. I'm going to my car because I need to go buy something, because this only happens every 18 months. At the time, I had already made a bunch of money in crypto. I had sold my Bitcoin. I had been out of Bitcoin for 3 years. Everyone knows my story. I used $500 and that $500 grew to 50 grand. And I sold that 50 grand near the highs in 2021. I never bought crypto again. And then crypto started to move again. And then I was angry because that $50,000 I had set aside was just sitting there not doing anything. And I used that 50 grand, guys, and guess what I bought on that day that the volatility index hit 50? You are correct. I bought on August the 5th, the last time the volatility index hit 50, I bought $50,000 worth of Bitcoin, and I actually caught the low. There was no other price that was lower than this. Not that I could find. And right now, it's up 89% because Bitcoin is sitting somewhere around 94,000. So I stayed out of it for 3 years, and then I finally was able to put that 50 in again, and now that 50 is worth 94. That started off with 500. Now, here's the cream of the crop right here. A lot of you guys talk about it. I be about it. A lot of you guys never even